Guys, are we live? Are we live? Please tell me we're live. Woo! We are back. Whoa, guys, that was a little bit weird, eh? That was a little bit strange. Hey, who've we got? Who's coming back? Whoa, there we go, guys. No problem, no problem. You just got a bit of a longer break. I think that might have been the longest 5 or 10 minutes of my entire life trying to get this set back up. I have no idea what happened. That was just a glitch. Complete glitch. We're back up and running now, right, guys? I'm going to give grace period 5 minutes for people to rejoin before we get started again. Let me just go in the comments of this and make sure that everybody can see. We are back. Okay. Let me check the chat. Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. No, it's not happening again. Surely it's not happening again. Or somebody said the vertical live is not up. The vertical live should be up. The vertical live should be up. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Yep. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, I'm just going to give time for people to rejoin, refresh the page and everything. Wajad said, I thought you got caught by EdXL for giving out free grade boosts. Somebody said, Matt, why is your Google name Emma Jones? I have no idea what you mean. Okay, we are back. There we go. We are back. Let me make a quick post on YouTube in the community to say that we're back. Just give me 2 seconds for that, guys. Okay, I'm not sure why that one is also scheduled. Hey, thank you, Sam, for sharing the link there. Really appreciate that. Technical difficulties, guys, on the most important day of the year. Okay. We seem to be looking good. Everything is perfect. Whoosh. Okay, guys. Now I just want to make sure that everything is smooth. So please can I get a quick confirmation from everybody that the stream is now working and that we don't have any lag? Please can we get confirmation that the stream is working and we don't have any lag before we get going with the paper again? Okay, so the vertical live is not showing up. That's completely fine. The main one is the horizontal one. Yeah, guys, everything is back. Eureka, we're back in the room. Guys, yeah, we're back in the room. Now, if anything goes wrong again, which it shouldn't, but if anything goes wrong again, I will get it set back up and we will get cracking. There is no chance at all that I'm going to leave you this evening, by the way, without like signing things off and saying that we're finishing the session. So if for some reason it cuts out again, I'm going to get it set back up and make sure that we're running again. Okay. RK says we lost 500 soldiers. Exactly. Guys, there was 1,000 of us. Now there's only 500 of us, but that's okay. At least we're up and running. That's the main thing. Some people are definitely going to be confused by the fact that there's now 2 lives on the channel, but that's also okay. It is what it is. Okay, cool. Yep, okay. Guys, let's get going. Question number 5. Enough talking about it. Let's build it back up. Yes, sorry about the delay, guys. That's my apologies. We're going to get a good pace on now to make up for it. Question number 5. Let's get it done. A car traveled 4.96 miles at an average speed of 30.4 miles per hour. Work out an estimate for the time taken by the car. So this is a classic speed, distance, and time problem. But notice the key word, guys. Estimate. Work out an estimate. And they are definitely, or they're very likely to sneak this in tomorrow. It's very easy to miss. So we're going to round our distance. We're going to round our speed. 4.96 miles for our distance. We're going to round to 5 miles. And our time, 30.4, we're going to round to 30 miles per hour. Now we can go ahead and we can work out our number of minutes. It does say as well, give your answer in minutes, so we're going to have to convert it. So step number 1, we can write out our speed, distance, and time triangle. We have speed, distance, and time. We need to work out our time, so we can do distance divided by speed. So we're going to get T equals D over S. We're going to get T equals 5 over 30, which we can simplify, divide the top and bottom both by 5. We're going to get 1 over 6. 1 over 6. Now, this is currently in hours because we were in miles per hour and hours. So we're going to convert it into minutes. How do we go from hours to minutes? We times it by 60. So we're going to do 1 over 6 times by 60. The easiest way to do a fraction of an amount is to divide by the bottom and times by the top. 60 divided by 6 is 10, times by 1 is 10, so we get 10 minutes as our answer. Part B, is your answer to part A an underestimate or an overestimate? Give a reason for your answer. Well, let's have a think about it. We rounded our distance up and we rounded our speed down. So we assumed that we went further than we actually did. We also assumed that we went slower than we actually did. So our estimate for the time is going to be too big. We assumed that we had to go further than we actually did. We assumed we went 5 miles when we should have gone 4.96. And we assumed that we were driving faster than we actually were. So our answer was an overestimate And why was it an overestimate? Well, we rounded distance up and speed down. We rounded distance up and we rounded speed down. Okay, next up, guys, question number 6. This is a great question. I'm not going to give you too long to do it, but I don't want to rush just because the last stream got cut off. The main thing is that we're back now, everything's working smoothly, and we are back doing effective revision. So we might have lost 15 minutes, to be honest. That was probably good, just to get an extra break, just to get some more rest, and to get going again. So question 6, a pentagon. And I'm going to drop a hint for you guys in about 1 minute. Some guys got an answer. That's somebody's username, by the way. And what it means is I actually now need to actually update the link, but that's okay. Yeah, I can see a lot of answers going in the chat. Team, let's work through it together because I know we want to go quickly. So here is a pentagon. We've been told that angle A is equal to angle C and angle B is equal to 155. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write in angle B, 155. We've then been told that angle D is 3 times the size of angle C. And we've been told that E is 2 times the size of angle C. Now, A is the same as C, so we can actually swap the A for a C. D is 3 times the size of angle C, so we can swap that for 3C. And E is 2 times C, so we can swap that for 2C. Now it's a little bit clearer to see what we might have to do. Now I'm actually just going to rub those crosses out so we can see what's going on. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to work out C. But how can we work that out? Well, we can use the fact that all of the angles in a pentagon together add up to a number. How do we work out the sum of all of the angles in a shape? We have that formula. So the sum of the interior angles, the sum of the interior angles is equal to the number of sides minus 2 times by 180. In this case, the number of sides of pentagon is 5. So we have 5 minus 2, brackets, times by 180. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180, that is going to be 540. Now, classic, we can set up an equation and solve it for C. We know that C plus 2C plus 3C plus C plus 155, that's all of our angles, is equal to 540. And now we're going to simplify. C plus 2C is 3C, plus 3C is 6C, plus C is 7C. 7C plus 155 is equal to 540. Next step, I'm going to minus 540 from both, I'm going to minus 155 from both sides. That's not the clearest thing to do, so we can just whip out our column method. We can do 540 minus 155. 540 minus 155, we can't do 0 minus 5, so we borrow from the 4, turn it into a 3. 10 take 5 is 5. 3 take 5 we can't do, so we borrow 1 from the 5, turn it into a 4. 13 take away 5 is 8. 4 minus 1 is 3, so we get 385. Next up, to work out the value of C, we can divide both sides by 7. I'm going to whip out my bus stop again, 385 divided by 7. 7's into 3 goes 0 times remainder 3. 7's into 38 goes 5 times remainder 3. 7's into 35 goes 5 times. We get C is equal to 55. Let's go back to the question, work out the size of angle A. Well, it said that angle A is equal to angle C. So we can say that A is equal to 55. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is our answer. Good job if you got it. Good job, Rund. Good job, Oscar. Good job, Theon. Good job, Kim. Yeah, fantastic work, guys. Next up, question 7. We're going to skip this one because it's not the toughest, and we're going to move on to question number 8. A little bit more problem solving involved. Guys, please can we get a quick W in the chat just to represent that we're back in the room and everything is sorted since that little technical mishap. We're live again and everything is sorted. Musa says W, yep. Joe says W. Uma says W. Light Frost W. Yep. M says W. So happy we're back. Yeah, brilliant, guys. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, G1. Thank you, Big. Nice, guys. Fantastic, fantastic. Yep, okay. Question 8. Let's get cooking. Guys, I tested my composure, I can't lie. I was getting stressed out here. I was using my double inhale exhale, the technique I'm going to teach you guys later. And we're also back up to cruising altitude. There's 700 of us now. Absolutely perfect. Okay. Question 8. Let's get it now. Sports Edits says, so you got me from a 5 to an 8. Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure, mate. So good to hear that the content, the lives, everything was helping. Okay, Pathos, fantastic. Fantastic, guys. Okay, question 8. Let's get it done. If you don't know how to do this now, but you understand it after I go through it, guys, let me know in the chat. You know those are my favorite comments. Question 8. The diagram shows a solid triangular prism on a horizontal floor. The face in contact with the floor is a rectangle with a width of 2 meters. The pressure on the floor due to the prism is 80 newtons, okay, got the pressure, per meter squared. The force exerted by the prism is 720 newtons, got the force. Work out the length of the prism. Work out the length of the prism. Classic problem solving, to be honest. Let's think about what we know and what we need to work out. We know that the force is 720 and the pressure is 80. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to write pressure equals force divided by area. I'm going to sub in my values. Force is 720, pressure is 80. 80 equals 720 over A. From there, guys, it's pretty obvious that we're going to have to work out what the area is. So I'm going to firstly move my A to the left-hand side. I'm going to get rid of it off the bottom of the fraction because we don't like having it on the bottom of the fraction. So we times both sides by A. We're going to get 80A is equal to 720. Next step, to get the A on its own, I'm going to divide both sides by 80, divide by 80, divide by 80. And I'm going to get A is equal to 720 divided by 80. We're going to divide the top and bottom both by 10. First of all, that's going to give 72 over 8. 72 divided by 8 is 9. So we now know that the area is 9, but the question wants the length. So how do we work out the length? Well, we know that for this rectangle on the bottom, the area is the width times by the length. We know the area is 9. We know the width is 2. So we can work out the length, divide both sides by 2. 4.5 is equal to our length. And that, guys, is our answer. Is our answer. Let me know, guys, does it make sense now? Did we get it first time round? Tough little problem-solving question, actually. This one we're going to skip, and the next one is going to be question number 10. Seth says, guys, like the stream. Oh yeah, guys, good shout. If you could like the stream, that would be fantastic. I can't see actually how many likes it has at the moment, but if you could like it, it would give us a bump, and it would just let all of the people who got kicked out before join back in. Question 10. Only two markers. We're going to do these ones pretty quickly. 10A. Answers in the chat for me. Hey, Hashim, you're welcome. Yeah, nice, Sama. Okay, team. Brilliant, brilliant. Yep, nice work. It is, in fact, 10. Why is it 10? Question 10A, work out 25 to the half times by 8 to the power of a third. How do we deal with fractional powers? We do the root of the number on the bottom raised to the power of the number on the top. So we're going to do the square root of 25, because there's a 2 on the bottom, raised to the power of 1, times by the cubed root of 8, because there's a 3 on the bottom, raised to the power of 1. Both of the 1s are because there's a 1 on the top. The square root of 25 is 5, and any number to the power of 1 is itself. So we didn't technically have to write this. I just wrote it to make it very clear. So 5 times by the cubed root of 8 is 2. 2 to the power of 1 is just 2. 5 times 2 is 10. And that is our answer. Part B. Find the value of 1 over 32 to the power of 3 over 5. Guys, what do we think for this one? Definitely trickier than 10A. Okay, somebody's got an answer in there. Nice, guys. Fantastic. Good job, Amelie. Good job, Night. Good job, Tansy. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Yep, okay. Let's do it. 10B. Find the value of 1 over 32 to the power of 3 over 5. Now, what I said was, when we do a fractional power, we do the root of the number on the bottom and raise it to the power of the number on the top. Next, when we have a fraction to a power, we do the top to the power and we do the bottom to the power. Now, this is going to give us 1 to the power of 3 over 5 over 32 to the power of 3 over 5. Now, 1 to the power of anything is just 1, so this is 1 over. We have to do the fifth root of 32 raised to the power of 3. The fifth root of 32 is 2, so we have 2 cubed, and that is going to give us 8 on the bottom. Good job, guys. If you got it, if it makes sense now, let me know in the chat. We're going to go through question 11. Honestly, these three are pretty tough. This, I would say, is one of the toughest questions of the day, actually. Okay, question 11. Katie has been asked to factorize this. Explain what is wrong with Katie's statement. Guys, put it in the chat if you know it. What do we reckon? Katie has said the sum of A and B must be 6 and the product must be 5. What's wrong? Yeah, exactly, guys. You're smashing it. It's the other way around, isn't it? When we factorize a quadratic, we need the numbers to add to make the number in the middle and times to make the number on the end. They said the sum needs to be the number on the end and the product, which is them times together, needs to be the number in the middle, so it's the wrong way around. So Kate got it the wrong way around, and that would get you the mark. Part B, factorize fully 2m squared minus 2. What do we think for this one, guys? Good work, Seth. Good work, Mihaly. Good work, Jonah. Does anybody know the series Jonah from Tonga? It's probably quite inappropriate, but That was very funny back in the day. Even though I have to say I do not endorse the nature of comedy used. Are we getting it? Are we getting it? I can see a mixture of different answers in the chat. And guys, I've not actually seen many people put it yet, or I've not seen anyone put it yet. Notice this word, factorize fully. Factorize fully. I've not seen anybody. I've not seen anybody factorize it fully yet. Yep. Okay, fantastic. Now you've got it. Now you've got it, guys. Well done, Mahali. Well done, Aya. Well done, Ro. This is another one to look out for. It's come up a lot in recent years, guys. Factorize fully. What this means is, after we factorize it once, we're probably going to be able to factorize it again. It also normally comes up in completing the square situations. So we look at this and we can see that they both have a 2. They both have a 2, right? So the easier one is to factorize out a 2, and we write it as 2 times m squared minus 1. But the fully hints that we're going to have to factorize it again. How can we factorize m squared minus 1? Well, this is one square number minus another square number. So we essentially have the difference of 2 squares, one square minus another. When we do that, we do, let me just write it down, 2 brackets. We have the square root of the first number at the start of them both, the square root of the second number, well, the square root of 1 is just 1, and then we have a plus at the start and a minus in the second. It's a bit like if we have x squared minus 49, this becomes x plus 7 times x minus 7. It's the difference of 2 squares. This is just the same, but with 1. Okay, part C, factorize fully. Let's see if anybody can get this. I would say this is one of the hardest questions we've done today, actually. What do we think? Hey, JJ Kojo, good to have you. What do we think for this one, guys? Okay, I can see some different answers going in the chat. I've not actually seen anybody do it yet. Maybe I have now. Now I have, yeah. Yeah, this is tough, guys, honestly. So the way that we do this one, let's have a look at it together. So what I see when I look at this is I see that both of these have an x and both of these have a y. I also see that we have an a times an x and an a times a minus y, and we have a b times an x and a b times a minus y. So we have like an a with an x and an a with a minus y, and we have a b with an x and we have a b with a minus y. So what we can do is we can write a plus b, because both of these are being times by an x and then a y respectively. And then we notice that the a is with a positive x and the b is also with a positive x. So this gives us ax and bx. And then the a is with a negative y and the b is with a negative y. So we get a negative y here. And that gives us our factorized form. Ax plus bx minus ay minus by. Guys, is that one a little bit clearer now? Is that one a little bit clearer or more clear? Good work, Jaffil. Good work, Joe. Good work, Sam. Yep, some of you are saying it makes sense now. Brilliant, guys. That was tough. That was tough. Okay, fantastic. Next question. Question 12. A lot of you have been asking about this topic today, so it's great that we can go through this example. Great that we can go through this example. Question 12. If you looked at that last one and you thought, that's question 11, I'm aiming for a grade 8, and I have no idea how you did that, don't panic. It was a very difficult question. If you're aiming for a grade 8, even for a grade 9, to be honest, and you didn't get that, that's fine. That's fine. It's definitely not a cause for concern. There are some questions, like this one. Honestly, if you're aiming for a grade 9, you should get this. If you're aiming for a grade 8, you should probably get this. Grade 7 or below, this is very tough for that. But this question, even if you're aiming for a grade 9, it's quite tough. Top 50 perm teams interviews, says Matt. Are the night before exam classes the same as this? Absolutely. So I should probably mention this. I've not mentioned it at all today yet, but now feels like a pretty good time to mention it. So this evening's class, 5 hours, because we're going until 10, is completely free. I wanted to make sure that I could do it for free, but the equivalent version of this for paper 2 and for paper 3 is going to be £20 each or £30 for both of them. It's really easy to sign up. You literally scan the QR code or you use the link, which I can put, which I'll be sharing a lot over the coming weeks. You'll see it. And if you're trying to convince your parents, you can just show them the recording of this live and say, basically, this is what I'm going to get. Now, this one's in 2 parts, but this is what we're going to do the night before the exam for £20. And it will be the same length. It'll be the same length. They'll be the same length, so there'll be 4 hours, maybe 5 hours if you guys would like it to be 5 hours. M says, very, very easy. It was so quick to sign up. Yeah, I tried to make it as easy as possible. Honestly, I'm not expecting that many people to join, guys. So it's going to be quite a small group. The spaces are limited, which is why it says book now, because I want to make sure that the quality is fantastic. So I'm going to have to cut off the spaces after a certain point. Okay. Meme FC says, if I buy, how will I join the live? Honestly, it's going to be really, really clear. It's really clear. You just sign up and then you just get taken straight there. You get sent an email with the information on, and I'm going to make the link. The platform's really easy to log into. You sign up to make an account, and then it's all super clear. It's all super clear, and you can email me at any time if you're not sure how to do it. Alps says, where do you buy it from? You just scan the QR code above, or I can put the link in the chat if you want to sign up now. Probably a good idea because I'm expecting it to fully sell out. I don't have the link to hand, so I'll put it for the next break, actually. I'll put it for the next break. Salma, I'm sorry that you got timed out. I think it might have been an accident from one of the mods. Okay. Should we go through it, guys? Yeah, let's go through it. Let's go through it. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, question number 12. Let's have a look. It says A, B, and C are 3 solid spheres. Sphere A has this volume, sphere B has this volume. The radius of sphere C is 50% of the radius of sphere B. And I'm going to talk you through the way that I'm doing this, guys. Work out the ratio of the surface area of A to the surface area of C. Give your answer in standard form. Not in standard form, give your answer in the form A to B, where A and B are integers. So this is a classic similar areas, similar volumes, problem-solving question. Basically, we've been told the volume of A to the volume of B. The volume of A to the volume of B is 64 to 125. We've been told the radius of sphere C to the radius of sphere B. Well, radiuses, guys, are lengths, right? A radius is a length. So the lengths of A, not A, the lengths of B to the lengths of C, well, the radius of C is 50% of the radius of B. So if the length of B is 2, then the length of C is 1. So the ratio is 2 to 1. We need to work out the ratio of surface area of A to the ratio of surface area of C. So the first thing we need to do is work out the area ratios for both of these, and then we're going to combine them. How do we work out the area ratios? Well, for the volumes, we need to do the lengths of A first to the lengths of B first. And we do that by cube rooting our volumes. So we have the cube root of 64 to the cube root of 125. The cube root of 64 is 4. The cube root of 125 is 5. And now to work out the area of A to the area of B, we square our length ratio. So we get 4 squared to 5 squared. We get 16 to 25. We get 16 to 25. Now, what about for B and C? Well, we need to find our area. Actually, no, let's do the lengths first. Let's do all of the lengths first. That's going to be easier and clearer. So now that we have the lengths of A and the lengths of B as 4 to 5, and the lengths of B to the lengths of C as 2 to 1, we can write these as a common ratio using our combining ratios. How do we combine ratios? Well, we make sure that the thing which is common to both, in this case the lengths of B, is the same first of all. So I'm just going to write this over here. We have lengths of A to the lengths of B is 4 to 5. So I can write these both with the lengths of B as 10. So then we can write them together. How do I get from 5 to 10? I times it by 2. 2 to 10, I times it by 5. So I'm going to have to times this by 5 as well. And I'm going to have to times this by 2 as well. So now we have the lengths of A to the lengths of B to the lengths of C. We know that when the lengths of B are 10, the length of A is 2, or not 2. I meant to times it by 2. That was a silly mistake, guys. My bad. I know somebody in the chat will have pulled it up already. So 4 times 2 is 8. So 8 here. And then 1 times 5 gives 5. So we have 8 to 10 to 5. Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. And then we need to go from our length ratio to our area ratio. How do we go from lengths to areas? Well, we have to square all of them. So to go to areas, area of A to the area of B to the area of C, we square them all. We get 64 to 100 to 25. 64 to 100 to 25. Now let's go back to the question. Surface area of A to the surface area of C. Well, we have 64 for A, 25 for C. So it's going to be area of A to the areas of C, 64 to 25. Guys, I know that one was tough. I know that one was tough. Talk to me in the chat. Did it make sense after we went through it? Okay, a couple of people are asking if we can have a 5-minute break. We are about ready for our next break now. Nice, Sam. You say you understand it now. So we are, in fact, guys, going to have our next break. Before we get started with our final push, it is that time. A couple of people are asking, can we write below the line? You want to keep your writing above the line, guys. Keep your writing above the line. I just did it because it's showing you guys how to do it. Okay. A couple of people asking what grade was that question. That was a grade 8 question, I would say. On the borderline of grade 7 and grade 8. Probably a grade 8 question. Okay. Having a quick look, Couple of people saying, will this be helpful if I'm doing AQA? Absolutely. Guys, we are now going to have our final break of the evening. We are approaching 9 o'clock. You guys asked, and we are going to increase from finishing at 9 to finishing at 10. We're going to get through some more questions from this paper. We probably won't get to the end. I might skip some of the middle ones to prioritize some of the final questions. The break is going to be 10 minutes. Before we go for the break, guys, I'm going to tell you about two things. Number one, I'm going to tell you, if you weren't with me earlier, about my completely free revision platform, which is on MyGCSEMaths.com. It looks like this. There's no catches. It's all completely free. It says viewing as Emma Jones because this is a random member. But basically, guys, and I'll put the QR code to join on the screen. There you go. Basically, guys, you make an account, you sign up, which is completely free. You just click Get Started Now on MyGCSEMaths.com, and it will take you through to here. Now, I have my group tutoring. I have my night before classes. I'm going to mention the night before classes after this. But what I'm talking about now is the mastery system. Basically, I have all of the papers here and some videos of live stream recordings of the papers. But the main thing I want to tell you about ahead of tomorrow and for your other exams is this, the single topic training. I don't want to do editing as. I want to view as a member. So I will click View As. And this is what it looks like, guys. The main thing here is the single topic training. So this is 400 videos, one for every single topic in the course. And basically, after you've watched a video, you can click Completed. You can see that's what this person has done. And you can work through all of the videos in the course, and it will track your progress. I made this because a lot of people were getting confused about what they know, what they don't know. And I wanted to make basically a platform where you could track your progress. For tomorrow, especially if you're aiming for a grade 8 or a grade 9, it's really a good idea, maybe not for tomorrow, but for ahead of paper 2, to work through the grade 8 videos and work through the grade 9 videos. For example, we have a short video, or I have a short video on, solving quadratics by completing the square when a is greater than 1. This is a classic. I don't know why that's not loading. Let's just try. Yeah, okay. So solving quadratic inequalities, classic grade 9 topic. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds. And you just go through, and it goes through the topic. And there's one of these for all of the topics in the course. Vector ratio problems, and, finding equations of tangents to circles, which is another classic. Oh no, this is vectors along a straight line, sorry. So yeah, video for every single topic in the course. So you can make a completely free account. You go on mygcsemaths.com. It will take you to here. You click Get Started Now. You make an account, and then all of that is sorted for you. The other thing that I'm going to mention, guys, up above, which I've had some questions about, is the night before the exam classes. Basically, before paper 2 and before paper 3, I'm going to do exactly what I've done tonight, but I'm going to do it with a little bit of a smaller group. And it's behind a paywall. So it's £20 for each of the nights, or if you get both of them, it's £30. And I'm not expecting many people to join, to be honest. So you're going to have a very good opportunity to ask questions and to, just do some really high quality final revision. If the task is going to be convincing your parents to sign you up to it, it's quite late in the evening. Hopefully your parents or guardians or whatever are at home. You can bring them in to watch the rest of this live and say, Mum, Dad, this one's 20 quid before paper 2 and 3. It's 4 hours, £5 an hour, blah, blah, blah. It's going to make all the difference. Can we sign up? And then you can speak to them that way. So that is my waffle for now. You have got the QR code up there for the website, which I'm assuming you will have already used. If you want to sign up to the night before classes, you can just use the QR code here. The spaces are limited, so I would recommend signing up quickly. It's quite late, and should I say this now? Or maybe I'll keep the announcement. How many of us are on? Oh, somebody's saying it's lagging. It shouldn't be lagging. Fantastic. Fantastic. Lag is gone. Okay, brilliant. Basically, guys, yeah, we're all looking good on the lag front. Fantastic. Basically, it is... okay, not lagging. Okay, just a sec. Brilliant, brilliant. Fantastic. I was panicking then. Yeah, we're all good. Guys, if there is any lag, I will be starting another stream, just to make it very clear. If anything goes wrong with this stream, there'll be another one that'll be up within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If it takes me 15 minutes, I'll do it. So yeah, just in case anything goes wrong, we'll be back straight away. Okay, what the announcement is going to be is, I'm not going to tell you guys properly yet because it's quite exciting, but there's going to be a lot of support, let's just say that, over half term. I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of support over half term, completely for free. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now. That's all I'm going to say for now. Okay. Let me put the little link in as well in the chat to sign up, because I know some of you. Let me just set this up. We'll be using the link instead. Copy. So sign up to the before the exam classes. There we go. Okay, I will pin that. There we go. Guys, that has been quite a break already. So I'm going to just give you 5 more minutes, but I know a lot of you have stuck around while I was yapping away. So we're going to do a 5 more minute break. So break, back at 21, well, let me say 9:08 p.m. Let me just make that clear. Okay. Guys, I'm going to say adios for now, 5 minutes to rest my voice, and then I'm going to be back for the final push. See you soon, guys. Hey guys, we are back. Talk to me, talk to me. Can you hear me? Let me turn this down a couple clicks. Hey, brilliant guys, brilliant. Tyler says yes, Rose says yes. SK says break's over already. Absolutely, my friend, absolutely. Josh says we are back. Fantastic, fantastic, guys. We are now on to our final 40 minutes of revision for paper 1. Final 40 minutes of revision for paper 1. Now, we are going to prioritize the questions that are going to be most beneficial. There's some really good problem-solving questions to go. Now, what should we get in the chat, guys? What should we get in the chat for signifying that we're through to our final push? I need some inspiration. What should we get in the chat to signify that we're on our final push? Maybe lightning bolts. We go for a lot of lightning bolts. Grade 9 topics people want to go through. Transformations, difficult, vectors, vectors. Okay, we can go through a vectors question. Okay, Dominic's in there with a lightning bolt. Guys, let's get going then. We're going to go through a vectors question. And in fact, we'll even go through a vectors question now. There is a vectors question, I believe. Yep, question 15. You asked, and we go through it. Question 15, a vectors question. And this is a pretty tough vectors question as well, let me tell you. This is a pretty tough vectors question. So great to practice. Guys, let's do it. Let's get lightning bolts in the emoji to signify... In the emoji? Let's get lightning bolt emojis. Can you tell I'm tired by now? Let's get lightning bolt emojis in the chat to signify that we are through to our final stretch of preparation. Guys, last 40 minutes. Let's finish strong. Let's finish strong. Oscar's in there. Choxo's in there with the lightning bolts. M's too. Benj as well. Yeah, fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Let's get going. Question 15. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to go through this one. It's a 4-mark question. A 4-mark question. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Question 15. Oh, Sham booked the classes for both of the papers. Fantastic. Let's get I'm going to run a quick poll, guys, and just see. Will you be joining for paper 2 and 3? Paper 2, paper 3, both, neither. I just want to get a quick idea. We can set up the little poll. Actually, no, I'm not going to run the poll because you guys don't know. I'm not going to run the poll. Forget that. Question 15, let's focus in on it. I didn't give anybody a chance to reply because I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Question 15. We have a 4-to-1. AMTB says, I have no idea how to do it. Am I cooked? Well, I am cooked. Let me tell you, you're definitely not cooked. This is a tough question, a very tough question. It's a tough vectors question, and vectors is a tough topic. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a hint for now. So O to Y is A. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to think, okay, well, O to Y is A. So that's the length all the way here. And O to Z is B. O to Z is B. But you can see that I've not opted to just write those on straight away. Why is that? Well, that's because we've also been told that M is the point on O to Y such that the ratio of O to M to Y is 1 to 3. And N is the point on O to Z such that the ratio of O to N to Z is 1 to 2. Okay, we've then been asked to work out the ratio of x to n, so the overall distance from x to n, to m to n, so this distance here. Basically, guys, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to work out the vector x to n and the vector m to n. And then we're going to put them in a ratio. So how do we work these out? Well, first off, let's address the fact that the ratio here is 1 to 3. Now, if the ratio is 1 to 3, we have in total 4 parts. 1 of the 4 is O to m, and 3 of the 4 are m to y. So that means that this is 1/4 of the line, and this is 3/4 of the line. Because the ratio is 1 to 3, 4 parts in total, 1 of them is for O to m, 3 of them are for m to y. Now we've also been told that O to y, the whole distance O to y is a, so what that means is that this part is 1/4 a, and this part is 3/4 a. Now for O to z, well, O to n to z is 1 to 2, so for the same reason as before, this is 1/3 of the line, this is 2/3 of the line, but this time it's O to z is b, so it's 1/3 b, and it's 2/3 b. That's my hint so far, guys. I'm going to let you think for another 1 minute, and then I'm going to go through the answer. Amelie says, how many marks for labeling the vector, or would we get none? Amelie, if you mean labeling them with the 1/4 a and the 3/4 a, you'd pick up marks for that. It depends on the year. Normally, you'd pick up 1 mark for that. Okay. That's been about a minute. So let's go through it. So x to n to m to n. So they're the 2 vectors that we need. Let's go ahead and let's work out x to n first of all. Well, how do we get from x to n? Let me write it up here so it's all on the page. So to get from x to n, we need to go from x to y, and then y to o, and then o to n. So x to n is x to y, and then y to o, and then o to n, o to n. Well, how do we get from x to y? Well, we know that we have a parallelogram, and on a parallelogram, our opposite side lengths are the same length and go in the same direction. So this one is going to be the same vector as the one at the bottom. It's going to be b. So x to y then is going to be b plus y to o. Well, o to y is a. We're going in the opposite direction, so we're going to have to do minus a. We're going to have to do minus a. And then o to n, well, that one is going to be 1/3 b, so we have plus 1/3 of b. So we have b minus a plus 1/3 b. Well, b plus 1/3 b, b is a whole b. It's like 3/3b. So 3/3b plus 1/3b, that is going to be 4/3b, and then minus a. 4/3b minus a. Now, what about m to n? Well, m to n luckily is a little bit nicer to work with, m to n. M to n is going from m to o and then o to n. So m to o plus o to n, o to n. M to o is minus 1/4 a, so minus 1/4 a, because we're going the opposite way to the 1/4 a, and then o to n is 1/3 b, so plus 1/3 of b. Now, let's go back to the question. The question says, work out the ratio of x to n to m to n. Well, let's think about this. X to n to m to n. Well, x to n was 4/3b minus a. 4/3b minus a. And, oh, I wrote n, didn't I? I meant m. So m to n would be 1/3b minus 1/4 a. Minus 1/4 a. And now we can see from here, well, how many times bigger is x to n than m to n? Well, this is 4 over 3b and this is 1 over 3b, so this is 4 times bigger. If we look at our a term, we have minus a minus a quarter a. This is 4 times bigger than the minus a quarter a. So we can write our ratio as 4 to 1, representing the fact that x to n is 4 times bigger than m to n. Okay, guys, that's question 15. Let me know in the chat, did we get it? Did it make sense? I know this is tough. Grade 9, grade 8, grade 9 question. Does it make sense now? Rezan got it. Fantastic work. Haya said it makes sense now. Brilliant, Haya. Nice, Seth. Oh, brilliant, guys. A lot of you, it makes sense for now. Guys, I really want to emphasize this at this stage of the game. It's now quite late in the evening. It's 20 past 9. We've been going for 4 hours and 20 minutes. A lot of you are going to be very tired. Please, if you're feeling very tired now, take your foot off the gas a little bit and just watch me go through the questions. Just watch me go through the questions. What you want to do now, from this moment, especially if you've been with me all evening, is you want to prioritize being energized and being well rested for tomorrow. The next half an hour, before I go through the exam mindset coaching and the performance coaching, the best thing that you can do is, if you're feeling like you have a bit of energy, keep doing the paper with me. But if you're feeling fried, if you're feeling tired, just let me do the questions and listen to me go through them. Okay, the next one that we're going to do, guys, is we're going to do this one. Yeah, we're going to do this one. Question 14. We're going to do this one. Great question to practice, tough question to practice, but we're going to nail it. Arsham Tara says, wait, shall I do predicted papers before the exam after watching this live or no? Absolutely not, mate. Absolutely not. Guys, predicted papers are guesses. They are just as accurate as doing a past paper. If you do a past paper 1, it has basically the same level of predictive accuracy as doing a predicted paper. Predicted papers are not magical. They don't know what's coming up. People post them because they get loads of views on social media and people sell them to make money, but they're not actually that valuable. If you want to do one, First Class Maths is pretty good. I'd say his is probably the best, but even his, in my opinion, he does a brilliant job, but it has more problem solving than the actual papers. It's even tougher than the actual exams. So don't now be like, I got to do the predicted papers. It's going to set me apart. It's not, guys. That's not the priority. Trust me. Question 14. Work out the length of AB. Clomrant says, are you and First Class Maths boys? We speak every now and again. A little bit of WhatsApp action. He honestly makes fantastic videos. Hannah Kettle is also pretty good. But guys, nobody knows what's coming up. Like, I really, really think First Class Maths makes brilliant resources. Maybe the best long-form videos in the business, probably the best. But the predicted papers, guys, no one knows what's coming up. Yeah, you guys have spotted it. It's the sine rule. Yeah, a lot of you are saying that his videos are too long. His videos are really good, but they are quite long. That's why I make the quick ones, because I know you guys don't have all day. Okay, let's think about this one then. I'm going to give a hint right now. So question 14, ABC is a triangle. Work out the length of AB. I look at this question, I see a non-right angle triangle. I need to work out a side length. I'm instantly thinking sine rule or cosine rule. The next thing I do is I label my side length AB as X. And then I think, okay, sine rule or cosine rule? Well, first I'm going to check, is it the cosine rule? Cosine rule questions involve all 3 side lengths. So this one, and this one. But we can see this question doesn't involve side length BC. It only involves two sides. We want one, we have one, it involves two. Therefore, it's the sine rule. What does the sine rule tell us? Well, the formula is A over sine A is equal to B over sine B, where our capital letters are our angles and our side lengths are our lowercase letters, and always capital A will be opposite lowercase a. Now, something they do in exams to try and trip you up is they make it a bit inconvenient with the labeling of the sides and the angles. What we can actually do is we can think, you know what, I'm not going to use their labeling, I'm going to label it myself. So I'm just going to, for now, cross through these, and I'm going to label this side length A, therefore the opposite angle is capital A, this side length as B, therefore the opposite side length is capital B. Sorry, the opposite angle is capital B. Now we can go ahead and we can substitute in our values. So we have A, which is x, over sine 45, is equal to B, which is 3 root 2, over sine of 30. The next thing that we can do is we can work out the values of sine 45 and sine 30. Now, we could do that now, or we could do it afterwards. The order isn't going to matter. I'm just going to start off by, I'll move the sine 45 over first. So we're trying to work out x at the end of the day. At the moment, it's being divided by sine 45, so I'm going to multiply both sides by sine 45. Times sine 45 times sine 45, and I'm going to get x is equal to 3 root 2 over sine 30 times by sine 45. Now this, guys, you know it, is an exact trig values question. Normally in a calculator paper, you would type sine 30 and sine 45 in, but this is not a calculator paper, so we have to do it using our exact trig values. You could use the hand method, which I've made a video for recently on social media. You can check that out. You also maybe are just decided that you're not going to memorize them. That's also okay. But sine 30 is going to be equal to a half, and sine 45 is going to be equal to root 2 over 2. So the next thing we can do is we can substitute a half and root 2 over 2 into here. I'm going to keep going down. I'm also just going to write this in a bit of a different form, because 3 root 2 over sine 30, well, that's just the same as 3 root 2 divided by sine 30, which is 3 root 2 divided by 0.5. And you know what, I'll keep writing it as a fraction. So 3 root 2 over 0.5. Then we have times sine 30, which is root 2 over 2. Now we can simplify this, so we get x equals. To simplify this, I'm going to times the top and bottom both by 2, and I'm going to get 6 root 2 over 1, which any number divided by 1 is itself, is just 6 root 2. And then I'm going to times this by root 2 over 2. By root 2 over 2. I know this is long, guys, but stay with me. How do I do 6 root 2 times by root 2 over 2? I can write 6 root 2 as 6 root 2 over 1, and then I can do top times top and bottom times bottom. On the top, we have the root 2 times the root 2. That's going to be root 4. Then we have over 2. The square root of 4 is 2, so this is like 6 times 2 over 2. And then we divide the top and bottom both by 2. We get 6 as our answer. Good job, Siren. Good job, Lou. Guys, I know that one is really tough. If you're aiming for a grade 8 or higher, you want to be getting this one. If you're aiming for a grade 7 or lower, please don't stress out that you didn't get that end bit. There was some really tough algebra in there. Really tough algebra in there. Okay, the next question that we're going to do is we're going to do question 13. This is a great one to practice with. Honestly, it's another tough question. Tyler says, why are you multiplying by 2 and then 2? I'm not sure what you meant by that, Tyler, but if you explain it, I can answer the question in the chat. Okay. Which questions shall we do from here? We have choices, guys. There's 800 of us on. I'm going to set up a quick poll. We have about 20 minutes. I'm going to do a quick poll for what grade questions you want me to prioritize. Which questions shall we focus on? We can go on the last questions, or we could go on the mid questions. So the last questions, of course, are grade 8/9. The mid questions are going to be grade 6/7/8. 6/7/8, yeah. Okay, the poll is set up, guys. Let's see what you guys want. Wow, you guys are daring. I mean, there's 800 of us on. I will go with the majority. 250 votes in so far. We're going to do a little bit of both. Well, you know what? We're going to meet halfway. We're going to do this question. It's past now. We're going to do this question. We're going to do another question from around the middle. And then we will do the last question of the paper. So we're going to finish with the last question of the paper, guys. And we'll do 2 more questions before that. Because that was split quite clearly down the middle. So question 13 is our next one. It's a big problem-solving question. It's going to take a while. It's 5 marks. So I'm going to get cracking with this one now, and we're going to do it a little bit in 2 parts, okay? Because it is a long one. So question number 13. Here are 2 cuboids. All lengths are measured in centimeters. The volume of cuboid A is 142 centimeters cubed greater than the volume of B. Work out the value of X. Guys, we're going to have to set up an equation where we set the volume of A equal to the volume of B, but because the volume of A is 142 centimeters cubed greater, we'll have to add 142 to B. So how do we work out the volume of a cuboid? Well, we do all of the lengths times by each other, or the base times the width times the height. So the volume of A, this is going to be x plus 2 times by 2x minus 1 times by x minus 1. And here we have an expanding triple brackets problem. So I'm going to start off by expanding x plus 2 and 2x minus 1. Then I'm going to times it by x minus 1. X plus 2, 2x minus 1, x minus 1. Okay, let's get this done. So x times by x is going to be 2x squared. X times by minus 1 is going to be minus x. 2 times by 2x is going to be plus 4x. And 2 times by minus 1 is going to be minus 2. And we're going to times this by the x minus 1. Now I'm going to simplify. I'm going to get equals, collecting my like terms, 2x squared minus x plus 4x is plus 3x minus our 2 times by x minus 1. Now I'm going to expand. I'm going to times each of the numbers in the first bracket, or each of the terms by each of the terms in the second. So I'm going to do 2x squared times by x. I'll also do it with the little arrows. That's going to be 2x cubed. 2x squared times by minus 1, that's minus 2x squared. 3x times by x, that's plus 3x squared. 3x times by minus 1, that's minus 3x. Minus 2 times x, that's minus 2x. Minus 2 times minus 1, that is plus 1. Now I'm going to collect my like terms, guys. I'm going to get 2x cubed. Minus 2x squared plus 3x squared is going to be plus x squared. Minus 3x minus 2x is minus 5x, and then plus 1. So we get 2x cubed plus x squared minus 5x plus 1. Now we're going to work out the volume of B. So the volume of b, this is going to be equal to x plus 3 times by 2x times by x minus 3. Again, we're going to expand them all. I'm going to do x plus 3 times by 2x first. So I'm going to get 2x squared and then plus 6x. This is going to be times by x minus 3. Now I'm going to expand these, and I'm going to get 2x cubed. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed, minus 6x squared, plus 6x squared, minus 18x. So we're going to have 2 x cubed minus 6x squared and plus 6x squared cancel. Then we have minus 18x. So we have 2x cubed minus 18x. Guys, am I making a little mistake? Let me know. Have I made a mistake? Guys, did I make a silly mistake? What did we do? Oh, yeah. Good shout, guys. Good shout. Little silly mistake. You guys got it. That's 2. So that should also be 2. Good shout, guys. Thank you for clarifying. Good job. Thank you very much. Okay. So 2x cubed plus x squared minus 5x plus 2. Let me take this moment, by the way, guys, to tell you, tomorrow, be careful for silly mistakes. We're 4 hours into the stream. That's my bad. Little silly mistake. I did it deliberately to keep you on your toes. No, I didn't. It was just a little mistake. So let's keep moving then. But by the way, well done for paying so much attention, because it's not easy to follow this working out. That shows that you're sharp. So volume of cuboid A is 142 greater than the volume of cuboid B. So we can say that the volume of cuboid B, so 2x cubed minus 18x plus 142 is going to be equal to the volume of A, which is 2x cubed plus x squared minus 5x plus 2. Okay, good work, team. Where can we go from here? Well, I'm going to start off by minusing 2x cubed from both sides. And then I'm going to just simplify. So I'm going to have minus 18x plus 142 equals x squared. Now I have my quadratic, minus x plus 2. I'm going to add 18x to both sides, and I'm going to minus 142 from both sides. So I'm going to get 0 equals x squared, and then minus 5x plus 18x is going to be plus 13x. And then 2 minus 142 is going to be minus 140. Guys, we're almost there. Very close. X squared plus 13x minus 140. Now, how do we solve this? How do we solve this to work out the value of x? Well, here we have a quadratic which we can factorize. Two numbers which times to make minus 140 and add to make 13. That would be positive 20 and minus 7. So we're going to have x plus 20 times by x minus 7. This gives, swap the signs in the brackets, x equals negative 20 for here, and x equals 7 for here. Let's again go back to the question, work out the value of x. So there's only one of them. What's the value going to be? Well, x is a side length, so x has to be positive. So our answer that we're going to take is x equals 7. Guys, how did we find this one? Did we get it? Let me know. Do we have any questions? Just need to quickly check my phone. Okay. Brilliant work, guys. Brilliant work. Okay, we have, what's the time? 38. We have 2 questions. A lot of you are asking for circle theorems, right? A lot of you are asking for circle theorems. Okay, there is a very hard circle theorems question in this paper. There is a very hard circle theorems question. We could go through it. Yeah? Grade 9 questions. Yeah, people are saying circle theorems. Vectors we already did. Okay, a lot of people are saying circle theorems. Yeah, you guys are saying bring it on. Yeah, let's do it. Guys, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 4 mark circle theorems question. And guys, it's a tough one. This is a very tough question. We're going to do this one. Then we're going to do the final question in the paper. Then we're going to call it a day. And we're going to chill down a bit at the end of the session. I'm going to teach you, or I'm going to give you some final tips for tomorrow. Teach you some performance stuff. We're going to chill for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then we're going to call it a day. And I'm going to send you guys off. If you guys are considering signing up to the paper 2 and 3 classes, by the way, now would probably be a good time to ask your parents, just because they can see exactly what they'd be paying for. So if you want to ask them, if you want to run and grab them and ask them to come and have a quick look, then yeah, that's a good way to persuade them. So question 17. There's a lot going on in this one. So I am going to give you a hint. Hazy says, how do you stay energized, man? Guys, this is also a reason, to be honest, why you should pay close attention to what I share with you at the end of the session, because when I teach you the techniques, they're going to seem a bit strange, okay? They're going to seem a bit strange, but I use these techniques myself, and this is why I can do, I'm 5 hours into a stream, and I still have the same amount of energy as at the start of the stream. Okay, that's not strictly true. I'm more tired. You saw I made that silly mistake. I'm a bit more sloppy, but I have almost the same energy, enough energy to keep the vibes high and keep you guys, you know, energized until we finish our revision. So these are techniques that I have learned after years of studying, and I'm going to break it down to basically 2 techniques for you. And I'm going to teach you a bit about the science of how they work without making it biology flashbacks, and then we can call it a day. User says, sir, can you please do a foundation walkthrough, or have you already done one, sir? Please respond. I'm not doing a foundation walkthrough for paper 1. I might do one for paper 2 and 3. I'll keep the announcements on the social media. Some people saying that this is not a hard one. Honestly, guys, this is tough. This is tough. I'm going to start off by dropping a couple of hints. So let's have a think about this. Question 17. A, B, and C are points on a circle centered at O. CD is a tangent to the circle. Angle BCD, there's me saying I'm not tired. Angle BCD is 40. Let's draw that one on. BCD is 40. So I'm going to draw this angle on here. Angle OAB is 3 times angle OAC. So let's draw that on as well. How do we draw that on? OAB, so OAB, this one, is 3 times OAC, so this one. The way that we write this on the diagram to start with is that we give them both a letter. X is always a good go-to. And we call one of them X and one of them 3X to write in general that this angle is 3 times the other one. Let's keep it moving. Work out the size of angle ACD. ACD. So this angle here. This angle here. How can we do this, guys? How can we do this? My first hint to you is that you might want to draw a line here. You might want to draw a line here. Now, how would we know to draw that line there? Honestly, a lot of the circle theorems questions recently, especially the more difficult ones, have been setting up a situation where you need to draw a radius in for yourself that meets the tangent. What this does for us is it unlocks a few things. It unlocks the circle theorem, where we have the tangent meets the radius at 90 degrees. It also turns this into an isosceles triangle. So what that means, guys, is that if we can work out this angle here in total, which we just did basically, and work out this angle here, then we have ACD. How can we go about working out this angle here? Well, I said that it's an isosceles triangle. This is the center of the triangle. This is one of the base angles, and this is another base angle. The angles at the base of an isosceles triangle are equal, which means that if we can work out x, then we can work out this angle. How could we work out x? Well, I look at this and I see, even though it's a bit hidden, a triangle inside of my circle, which meets my tangent. So we have the alternate segment theorem. The alternate segment theorem allows us to say that these two angles together are equal to 40. Because this angle here, where the tangent meets the triangle, is equal to this angle in the top. So from that we can say that 4x is equal to 40 and x is equal to 10. We divide them both by 4. So this angle here is 10, which means this angle here is 10. Now, as we said, we know that this entire angle here is 90 because the tangent meets the radius at 90 degrees. Therefore, this angle here is 90, a right angle. And now working out the overall angle ACD, we have the 90 degrees here plus the 10 degrees here. That gives us 100 degrees altogether. So the angle ACD is 100 degrees. Guys, talk to me in the chat. Let me know. Did we get it? Does it make any sense? I know this one is tough, guys. Like I say, grade 9 question. I want to be very clear. There's 700 of us on the stream at the moment. Most people will have no idea how to have done that. I don't want you to see the people in the chat getting it right and think that everybody knows how to do that. Guys, very few people know how to do these questions. I'm going through them because you're going to learn so much from us going through these ones and it's applicable to everybody. But please don't let it stress you out if you didn't get it. Okay. Nice. Let's get a quick W in the chat if it does make sense now. And we're going to finish with our final question. You guys wanted me to do it, so I'm going to do it. The final question of this paper, question 20. We're going to finish strong, team. This is our last question of paper 1 revision. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Nice, Amelie. Fantastic, fantastic. Zainab says, lol, he looks tired. We've been going for 5 hours, guys. We've been going for 5 hours. I feel pretty sharp still. I mean, I'm definitely more tired than at the start. And I really want to emphasize this for you guys. If you're knackered, finish. Stop revising. This is a very difficult question that we're finishing with, but I promised you guys I would finish with the last question of the paper. So we're going to lock in and we're going to do it together. We're going to finish strong. Thank you, Laura Nick. My hint for this one, guys, let's have a look. The C is the circle with equation x squared plus y squared equals 4. Find an equation of the tangent to C at the point P1. Equation of a tangent to a circle. What a way to finish, guys. Let's start off by drawing a little diagram. Always makes our life a little bit easier. x squared plus y squared equals 4. This is going to be a circle with a radius of 2. Now we need to find, so we know that this is 2, and this is 2. This is minus 2, this is minus 2. The equation of the tangent at the point P1. P1. Okay, well, if this is 2 up, this is roughly going to be 1 up. So the point that it meets the circle is going to be here. Remember, guys, a tangent meets the circle at exactly 1 point. So this is the point P1. How can we work out where P actually is? Because if we can work out where P is, then we're in a far more familiar situation. So how could we work out where P is? Well, we know that P lies on the circle. In other words, P satisfies this equation. And specifically, the point satisfies the equation. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 4. X squared plus y squared equals 4. When x is p, y is 1. So p squared plus 1 squared equals 4. P squared plus 1 equals 4. P squared is equal to 3. P is equal to the square root of 3. So this coordinate then, guys, is going to be root 3, 1. Root 3, 1. I'm going to move this over. Now, how do we find the equation of the tangent to the circle? I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to give this a go, and then I'm going to finish this question off. So we have our coordinate now. I'm going to draw this line, and that's going to be my hint. Guys, I'm just going to grab my drink, and I'll be right back. Oh, I also got a little bit of food, guys, because I'm very, very hungry right now. Oh, guys, can you hear me chewing? That's probably really annoying. Okay, I'm not gonna eat my crunchy Brazil nuts. Guys, if you're tired and you're not understanding stuff, please don't stress. We've been going for a very long time. The priority now, like I say, is resting. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Maybe I'll have another couple of Brazil nuts, eh? Oh, you can't hear it? Okay, that's good. That's good. Team, should we get it done? Drop a ready for me in the chat if you're ready, guys. And we will finish. Yep. Guys, let's get it done. Question 20, let's finish it off. We need to find the equation of the tangent which we have drawn on there. In order to work out the equation of the tangent, we need 2 things. We need a point on the line, which we have, and we need the gradient, which we don't currently have. How can we find the gradient? Well, when we have the equation of a tangent to a circle, what we do is we draw on the radius, and then we find the gradient of the radius, and we use the negative reciprocal to find the gradient of the tangent. We know that the radius and the tangent meet at a right angle, which make them perpendicular, which means or which mean that they're the negative reciprocal of each other. So what would the gradient of this line here be? What would the gradient of this line here be? Well, we know that gradient is change in y divided by change in x. We go from 0, 0 to the y coordinate is 1 and the x coordinate is the square root of 3. So the gradient is 1 over root 3. So the gradient of the tangent then, the negative reciprocal of this, the gradient of the tangent is negative root 3 over 1. We make it negative and we do 1 over. We flip it. Any number divided by 1 is itself, so it's just negative root 3. So we've got the gradient of the tangent now, it's negative root 3. We have a point on the tangent, so now we can sub them both into y equals mx plus c. We have y equals mx plus c for our line. We know the gradient is negative root 3, so y equals negative root 3 x plus c. We know from the point that when x is root 3, y is 1. So we have 1 equals negative root 3 times by root 3 plus c. Root 3 times root 3 is 9, is root 9. So we have negative root 9 plus c. The square root of 9 is 3, so we have 1 equals minus 3. The square root of 9 is 3, I think I said that right. So we have minus 3 plus c. And then we add 3 to both sides to get the c on its own. We get 4 is equal to c, which we can now substitute back into our y equals mx plus c to finish off and have our gradient. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, y is equal to negative root 3 x plus 4, and that is our final question. And our final answer. Guys, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Did we get it? Does it make sense now? Do you have any questions? Nice, guys. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. Guys, look at this, look at this. Not the final answer, you're exactly right. Look, 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 look. Y plus root ax is equal to b. So all that we have to do is we just have to move the root 3x to the other side, and we get y plus root 3x is equal to 4. Y plus root 3x is equal to 4. We just added root 3x to both sides. Guys, that is the first time today that I might have actually done it deliberately. I've made a couple of silly mistakes. That might be the first time today that I actually did it deliberately. Why? Why? As we move into our mindset portion, y plus root 3x equals 4. There you go. Seth has got it. Yeah, exactly. There you go. People read the questions wrong. Exactly. Guys, whether you're aiming for a grade 9, a grade 4, a grade 7, one of the things which holds people back the most is silly mistakes. They happen so often, they're so easy to make, and with paper 1, they happen all the time. Why? Because we don't have our calculators. So we want to make sure that we don't make them and that we read the question carefully. I'm going to give those or give some more tips like that in the advice portion. The final thing to do then, guys, after finishing this paper, before we do the advice part, is, guys, let's throw our celebration. That is a fantastic 5-hour shift of revision. How do we throw the party? Guys, we want dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis, lightning bolt emojis in the chat. All of the good vibe emojis you can imagine. That is our hard work done ahead of paper one. My advice to you from this point in would be do not do any more revision. If you've not done any revision before today at all, maybe stay up and do an all-nighter. But to be honest, you're cucked either way if you've not done any revision at all. But if you've been doing some revision, if you've been revising, doing past papers in school, doing a little bit of revision at home, the best thing you can do now is prioritize having energy and having clarity for tomorrow, not cramming in more information. What that means is, guys, no more questions, no more practice, no more revision. We're finished ahead of tomorrow. All that is left to do now is to go in and get the job done. I can see Umar is partying, Zara's partying, Asora is partying, Mohammed is partying, Imez is partying, Sam's partying. A couple of people asking me to zoom out. I can absolutely zoom out. Fantastic, fantastic. Anulu says, what are you eating? I was eating some Brazil nuts and some almonds. Thank you very much, Tanya. Guys, fantastic work, fantastic work. Good job, Jay. Good job, Soul Crystal. Good job, Mia Bailey. Good job, Asaro. Yeah, fantastic, guys. Arsham says, should we do predicted papers now or no? Absolutely not. Get to bed, my friend. Get to bed. My pleasure, Mohammed. Fantastic work, everybody. Fantastic work. Okay, Soraya says, I need the pep talk for real. Oh, Husna, that's so good to hear. That's so good to hear. Said you're self-taught and this has really helped. Brilliant. Okay. So, guys, a little bit of a mindset discussion for tomorrow. Now, the first thing I want to know, everybody, let me know in the chat, is how do you think you will be feeling? How are you feeling now about tomorrow? First of all, yeah, how are you feeling now about tomorrow, first of all? Guys, let me know in the chat. Guys, to everybody saying thank you. Honestly, it's my pleasure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. How are we feeling? Simply says, I'm terrified. Mona says, scared. Halima, stressed, nervous, worried, quite nervous. Stressed, nervous, scared, anxious, absolutely awful. Scared, nervous but excited, petrified, cooked. Scared, nervous, pressured, bit nervous. A emoji of something that you do in the toilet. Bad. Some people are saying confident, but most people scared, sick, stressed, etc. So we need to talk about dealing with this, guys. We need to talk about how we can get you unstressed and unscared. So a quick, very quick lesson, because I know you're going to get flashbacks from biology, but a very, very quick lesson in how the brain works in this context. Obviously, you know, it's way more complicated than this, but let's go to a pink pen. Now let's go purple. That's close enough. Let's say you have a brain, which hopefully you all do. And then it has all these like neural networks around it, like wiring between all the ideas in your brain, right? What happens when you're stressed is your brain produces something called cortisol, which blocks up some of these connections and makes it way harder to think. So it's a priority making sure that we have the right mindset and the right perspective for tomorrow. Luckily, you can unblock these blocks. And you can even unblock them even if you're still feeling nervous and feeling anxious. You can do certain things with your body which unblock the neural networks and make it easier to perform at your best. Now, believe it or not, somebody's saying artist in the making. I'm quite far off that. But believe it or not, the breath is actually one of the most powerful tools that you have to regulate your nervous system and to control your body and to kind of change the state that you're in. So the nervous system has two like axes, the sympathetic nervous system, which gives you loads of energy and boosts you up, brings you out of equilibrium. And you have the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms you down and pushes you back into equilibrium. Exactly, you guys know it, cortisol spikes, right? So we need to learn how to move that down. How do we use the breath to get rid of this cortisol? Have you guys heard, we're gonna make this interactive, because this is only gonna work, by the way, if we do this interactively with the chat. So, guys, have you all heard of taking a deep breath? Let me know in the chat if you've heard of taking a deep breath. Have you heard of taking a deep breath to calm down? Sam says, yep. Zora says, yep. Husna says, yep. Yep. Everybody's saying, yep. Nope, never breathed in my life. You wouldn't have got this far, buddy, to your GCSEs if you hadn't. Yep. Deep breath. Okay, so a deep breath, for anybody who hasn't heard of it, apparently, is basically where you breathe deeply in through your nose or your mouth, like, and then you breathe deeply out. Now, there might be a bit of ASMR here. I'm sorry about that if it's annoying. Have you heard, though, and do you guys think that that's magic? Do you think it really has a huge effect? Somebody said, never heard of the bloke. Does it have a huge effect on your body when you have one deep breath? It has a bit of an effect. Somebody saying, I'm sick, I can't. You can do it through your mouth gently. Sometimes. Blah says, what's this wizardry? Honestly, no. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, exactly, guys. So it doesn't really work, okay? That's because, for some reason, people say take a deep breath. You actually have to take 6 deep breaths. I don't know what it is that's magic about the number 6, but it gives your body enough time and space to calm down, taking 6 deep breaths. So we're going to do it together. Yeah, exactly. Oxygen to the brain, regulates the nervous system. Good. We're going to do this together, and we're going to do it now, and I'm going to prove to you that it works. So we're going to take 6 deep breaths together. I'm going to like guide you with my arms. So we're going to breathe in together through the nose or through the mouth, whichever you want. And then we're going to breathe out together as my arms go. So I'm going to go like this and guide it through. I'll look a bit silly, but that's fine. So we're going to take 6 deep breaths. Ready to start in just a moment. And we're going to put in the chat afterwards how we feel, whether it makes us more relaxed, whether it doesn't, whether we think it has an effect. My guess is hopefully. For a bit of credibility, because I know some of you are thinking this is complete woo-woo, I went to a school in special measures, pretty much had to self-teach my exams. I used these techniques because I learned them when I was younger through reading books and the internet and stuff. I managed to get straight A stars in GCSE and A level, and I applied these techniques in all of the exams I've ever done, and they are what got me the grades, as well as the studying, obviously. So yeah, this is backed by trustworthiness, let's say. So we're going to do it together, guys. Let's get a quick ready in the chat, guys. Just put ready for me in the chat if you're ready to get going. Ready in the chat for me if you're ready. Yeah, lots of people saying ready. Yeah, okay. So, in through the nose, guys, as I go up, and out through the mouth as I go down. We're going to go for 6 breaths. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. People are laughing, I know. Okay, guys, that is 6 deep breaths. A lot of you are laughing. Some of you would have laughed. I know I probably looked really silly and funny. But guys, let me know in the chat, does it work? I know it's funny. I know it's funny. I know it would have made you laugh. But yeah, guys, let me know. Does it work? Let me know. Do we feel a little bit calmer? Do we feel a little bit more relaxed? Let's see. Valerio says, my parents are looking at me. Guys, you should feel a little bit less stressed, a little bit more chilled out. Look at this, guys. Everybody's saying that it works. Zora saying, I feel relaxed. Yeah, a lot of you saying it low-key works. Somebody saying, summoning the answers. Oh, that's fantastic. Guys, I feel more relaxed. Yeah, less stressed. Guys, fantastic. Now, one more thing. That was actually not the warm-up. That was like level 1. That was level 1. So I did that actually to get your guys' attention, because if I didn't do that when I taught you the actual technique, you wouldn't have taken it as seriously. Now that you know that works, when I teach you the proper technique that really works, like really works, I mean, that does work, but this really works. Now that I teach you this, you're going to take it more seriously. I would recommend doing this in the morning of your exam. I do this when I do public speeches. I had a big pitch a few weeks ago. There were about 300 people in the crowd. That was a big event for me. I was sitting in the crowd doing this before, and it really helped me calm down to get chill. Or to get chill, to, be calm and smash my speech and, do it properly. So, levels to the game, this is the second one. So, by the way though, guys, that does work. So that wasn't placebo. That actually does work. 6 deep breaths does work. There's lots of research behind it. I don't know why it's 6, to be honest, but this technique is the really powerful one. So we're going to do this together. It's going to be 6 more breaths. Don't worry, guys. We're going to be finished with this live in about 10 minutes, I guess. So you guys are going to have plenty of time for a good night's sleep. So the real technique now, let's go. The real technique is called double inhale, exhale, otherwise known as parasympathetic breathing. It's called double inhale, exhale. If you guys have your parents with you or your siblings or whatever, you can get them to do it with you. So double inhale, exhale, how does it work? It's kind of in the name. Basically what we do is we breathe in through the nose. Just before we get to the top of the breath, we pause for a second. We breathe in a little bit more, and then we breathe out with a long exhale. So it looks something like this. In through the nose, pause, breathe in again, and then out through the mouth. I know this looks funny, guys. Don't worry though, I'm the only one on the camera. I'm the only one who looks silly. So in through the nose like that, pause a second, then in again, and then out through the mouth. Now when you're at home, you can do this, you'll be a bit loud. Obviously, if you're doing this before the exam, or in the exam even, you want to do it quietly. I used to do this in exams when I got stressed. If I didn't know how to do a question, I used to panic a bit. So I used this breathing technique to calm myself down before I carried on. So, guys, let's do it together. We're going to do it 6 times. You've probably never seen it before. I know it's funny, but guys, let's do it. So, you guys have the technique down. We're going to do 6. So we're going to go, okay, in through the nose again at the top, then out through the mouth. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's see how we feel afterwards. Let's go. One more, guys. And guys, that is the technique done. How do you feel? Put it in the chat. Did it have any effect? Did it have any effect? Let me know. Let me know. Did it have any effect? I know some of you are laughing. I was trying not to laugh because there were some funny comments while I was doing it. But honestly, guys, even for me right now, I feel so much more relaxed after that. A lot of you are saying sleepy, a lot calmer. Yeah. Zara said the comments were hilarious, but yeah, the breathing really helped. The comments were jokes. Somebody said something about breathing away my future, and that almost made me laugh. But yeah, somebody saying heart rate decreasing. Yeah, exactly, guys. It works. It works. Now, okay, Anaya, let's keep it chill in the chat. Dara says, Matt, can you wish me luck? Absolutely. Guys, that is our session complete. Read the questions carefully tomorrow. Look out when a question says estimating. That's one of the easiest ones to forget. When you finish a long question like this one, 4-marker or 5-marker, make sure you read the question again and ask or check how they want you to give your answer, whether they want you to give it in a certain type of units, whether they want you to round it or something. You want to check for that as well. Guys, good luck for tomorrow. We've got this. Absolutely. The final thing that we're going to do, everybody, is to spread some good luck ahead of tomorrow. We are all going to put the 4-leaf clover emoji in the chat. So search it for me. Spam the chat full of the 4-leaf clover emoji. The Irish would say that it's good luck, and that is us bringing in some good luck for everybody today. So 4-leaf clover emojis in the chat for me, guys. If you can't find it on the keyboard, copy and paste somebody else's. The hard work is now done. There is no more revision to do. There will be live streams all night tonight on social media. My advice would be to not join them. There will be live streams tomorrow morning on social media. My advice would be to not join them. You'll be tempted to do predicted papers, to watch videos, to do past papers. I would advise not to do them. You want to prioritize being in the right mindset ahead of the exam tomorrow. You're going to do that by getting a good night's sleep. And you're going to get a good night's sleep by doing that little double inhale exhale while you're going to bed, focusing on your breath, and you guys are going to, fall asleep way easier. Because I know it's tough to fall asleep ahead of exams. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you, Light Frost. Thank you, Soul Crystal. Thank you, Heroic, Valerio, Flaming Rocky. Thank you, Amelie. Thank you, Harris, for your work today, buddy. Thank you, Oscar. Guys, it's time for me to say good luck. If you have any last-minute questions or worries or anything, comment on one of my videos. I'll be looking at my phone for a little bit longer and I can get back to you. Thank you, Rematch. Thank you, GCSE Stud. Thank you, Unknown. Thank you, Fish. Thank you, Husna. Guys, I'm going to say goodbye, adios, good luck for tomorrow, and let me know how it goes. I'll be posting, so you can let me know in the comments. Team, that's all from me tonight. See you in the next one. Good luck for tomorrow.